Yeah, you can hear the dog. Okay, I'm talking. I haven't been talking. I was like changing the thumbnail. Let me know. I mean, I'm not gonna have the music on the whole time, but let me know if that level sounds crazy or if you hear me well. You should see me in the bottom right. For sure. Just see my head in my head. Cool. All right, and the first part of this will be me updating our website to link to the webinar. And super top secret stuff. There's code in here somewhere to redirect. Probably shouldn't be streaming this, huh? The webinar. Here we go. Cool. Oops, that's not the right one. This is it. Yeah, still live. So now if you view this page, it didn't really redirected it. I'll upload film. Oh, you know what we gotta do? We have to pull that out of the cache. Yeah, my hey, we got 4 watchers. Can people who work for me or everyone actually just say hi in the chat so I know if anyone's on early or who you are? 2016, 2021. Cool. Alrighty, cool. We don't need this anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Travis. I wish I had your buttery smooth voice. I want that. We need that. I need easy access to the animation too. I don't have that on my computer to share. I'm gonna be watching this channel. Yeah. So if you want to call it anything to me, that music's so loud I can't even turn it down anymore. Maybe I can hear. So yeah, if my team could hang around the YouTube chat. I have so many windows open, I gotta find them. And answer questions that pop up. If you can't, like, if it's a kind of off-topic thing or just a quick question, you can. If it's a question that you can answer it. And if it's something that you think I should talk about, copy it and send it to me with a tag in Slack so that it pops up for me. I guess we got 3 minutes until it really starts. I don't know how many people are going to show up. We'll see. I'll probably take a bio break is a good idea. All right. I'll be back. We're on YouTube. Your dad is a YouTuber. All right. Hello, hello. Let me see. 5 people now. Hello. It's 1 o'clock. I'm going to wait around for about 5 minutes for people to trickle in. Please introduce yourself when you get here. Oh, it's weird seeing my delay. Hey, Malcolm. Awesome. Thanks for saying hi. It helps me. Hey, Nancy. And maybe I won't call out everybody's full name. Keep you semi-private off the video. I mean, you know what? I just realized I got an email from someone who said they wanted help with the site-wide sale. And I can send them the link to the webinar. Thanks for having patience. I'm just going to wait about 3 minutes for people to trickle in. And then I'm also going to start the recording soon. Try to find that video I'm talking about. Close that. I'm tweeting, sending it out. Some more people are coming in. If you come in to the chat room on YouTube, you can introduce yourself and just say hi so I know who the real people are who are here. Let me start recording too. And we can stop the music. So I'm super excited to help everyone who watches this webinar and this recording set up a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday, holiday sale. I hope people are watching this over the Christmas holiday and setting up sales then. We had a successful summer holiday over 4th of July weekend in the United States. So this recipe can be used, a couple times a year, ideally, to generate some extra sales for your PM Pro membership site. Before I get started, people are introducing themselves in the chat. That's great. And feel free to ask questions at any time. Someone from my team might be able to answer it for you, or I'll see the questions and answer them and make sure that I curve what I'm addressing in the demo to hit the topic that you brought up. And definitely at the end of this, I haven't timed this too well, but we should be able to get through the demo in about half hour, 40 minutes. I'm going to open the floor to questions. Feel free to ask very specific questions about how to set up site-wide sales on your site, as long as you're comfortable sharing that with the rest of the people in the chat and the people watching the video. We can try to take a look at your questions and get those answered. So yeah, just to slow down, what I'll be going through on this demo is the overview of a local PM Pro, Paid Memberships Pro site that I have set up on my machine. I'm going to be setting up a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, very similar to the one that we're going to run on our live site. I thought about actually doing this on the live site, but my team talked me out of it, which is probably a good idea because I don't want to crash my website while I'm doing the webinar. So we'll also go through some of what I call like the soft questions around running sales, holiday sales and site-wide sales. So I'll get to those, when should you run them? How should you structure them? What should the pricing be? And then I'm going to install the add-on on that local site. I'll set up a new sale. I'll set the dates for it. I'll create a new discount code for it. I'll create a landing page for it. I'll choose one of the built-in themes, and I'll set up some banners on the website. I'll show you some of the theme options. I'll hand wave over some of the reporting that the Sitewide Sales plugin does. And then really quick, try to touch on the promotion, the stuff that the plugin doesn't handle. The bullet list of what you should be doing to make sure people get to your site. All right. And then, then there's a couple of customizations I'll show. I'll show one that's more design oriented using like our MemberLite theme and some of the shortcodes that come bundled with MemberLite. And then I'll show one that is kind of coding related to add like a level check, like a radio option on the checkout page to choose your level. So that said, let me dive in. I'm going to show y'all my demo site. And so this is running on a local machine. I use Flywheel Local for local development. Some of you might do that. And I just set up a really bare bones WordPress website using our MemberLite theme, which we just launched to the .org repository. It's free. You may not have time to overhaul the look and feel of your website before Black Friday next week, but if you're not using MemberLite, you should at least take a look at that. So on this site, I have created a couple levels. There's a free level and there's a $100 per year paid level. I created something called my super secret system for strategic success, S5, and I've marked that to require paid membership to be able to view it. And even though I'm an admin, I'm not a member yet, so I can't see my own content on the front end of the website, which is how we've built that. So that's pretty much the layout of this website. Let me know if you have questions on that. We'll try to address them. And one thing I'll take a look at is these are the plugins I have installed. So I have these two plugins which help extend MemberLite to add shortcodes and other kind of features for posts. And I have Paid Memberships Pro installed. I just this morning pushed out an update to Paid Memberships Pro, which includes a new filter that we're going to use in the customization part of the demo. So especially if you are interested in that when we get to it, you'll need to upgrade Paid Memberships Pro first to take advantage of that. But the Sitewide Sales plugin will work with 1.9.5.5. And in general, test your updates if you have, like a website that's generating a lot of daily money before you upgrade, and make sure your backups are in place. But you should be able to, fingers crossed, I'll be able to do it now. Just click the update button and have this update automatically. Oh, the focus is bad. Let me zoom in. Thanks for the heads up. I should make my screen a lot bigger. So I'm trying to update Paid Memberships Pro. It's going really slow, so hopefully there's not any issues there. So hopefully, yeah. I see there's a little bit of delay, but I've zoomed in a bit. This update's taken a while for some reason. I wonder. Our first bug, it's good. Oh, it updated. It just took forever. Okay, it's really weird. Dashboard, cool. Memberships, awesome. The other thing I did was I put my license key onto the settings PM Pro license area. So if you're watching this webinar, you're either an elite hacker and snuck in, or you're a paying member of Paid Memberships Pro. And so you should have a license key that allows you to download add-ons. And so I'm going to actually do that here. I'm going to find the Sitewide Sales Add-On. And I actually just use the browser search. And I'm going to click Install Now and install the Sitewide Sales Add-On. And I guess while that's happening, let me talk through again those soft questions. See, that was a lot faster. Fun. Another note, our live site for Paid Memberships Pro actually has about 65 plugins. So don't be jealous of this. This is just a demo. This doesn't have any of the caching plugins, marketing plugins, Google Analytics, SEO plugins, random integration with MailChimp, things like that. So this is a very trimmed down example here. And yeah, hopefully the zoom in is a little bit better. So those soft questions, right? I have a blog post from last year. I'll post it into the YouTube chat so you can look at it, and we'll include it in the notes with this page. That goes into some of these questions. Before we built the add-on, we wrote this up, which covers questions around running a sale and also talks about how you might do this custom using different software to do each individual component. But now the add-on brings the software piece together. But some of the questions are the same, and one of them is around, when should you run a sale and how many sales is too many sales? So personally, I was very hesitant to run any kind of sale on my site, including Black Friday sales. For the first, 5 or 6 years of this business, we didn't run any sales. The only sales that we would run were when we were increasing our pricing. And then you get a chance to do like an ad hoc sale. We're about to increase the price. This is your last chance before we update the pricing. You're saying to focus on the site is still, oh yeah, this is still, I wonder if there's something I can do. And and I'll zoom in a little bit more. I'm not reading through anything on the screen. I'll try to make sure anything that's supposed to be seen is seen. But as I was saying, we don't want to run a bunch of sales. And so there's a lot of reasons not to run sales. And kind of the worst form of this is you'll see products that are constantly running a sale. It's almost a cliche, but jewelry stores are always running a 50% off sale. And what that does is that when you're shopping at a jewelry store, you don't trust them, right? They tell you that a necklace is $1,000, and you're like, is it really $1,000 or is it $500? And that's kind of off-putting. And obviously, if you feel distrust towards someone you're purchasing something from, it's not going to be as smooth a process as it could be. The other thing that's happening is when you set your price, which we have a bunch of blog posts on our blog about how to think about setting a price and go through that. But when you're setting your pricing, you're spending a lot of time to figure it out and make sure that your pricing is correct. So we charge about $300 for PM Pro Plus, and it took us a long time to come to that price. It involves a lot of thinking around what does it cost us to support a member, and what is the value that is given to our customers for their membership? How does it compare to competing products that have a similar membership? And so we set the price at $300. If we're very often discounting the price to $150, our brand and our marketing message is being diluted. People are going to get the message. It's actually worth $150. And people would be trained to wait for a sale. I know I'm doing it for some products knowing that Black Friday is coming up. Hey, I'm going to hold off on buying that thing. It might go on sale. So yeah, definitely, if you get in the habit of running a sale like every week or every month, you're probably running them too many times. You're diluting your brand and kind of the message that you're putting out around like what the value is of your product. So you don't want to do that. But there is kind of one exception to this rule, and that's Black Friday. So for one, if you're only running one sale a year, or I think the sweet spot might be two, we run one on Black Friday and one in the summer. They're kind of about 6 months apart. It's not happening so often that your customers who are lingering around your product are trained to wait for a sale. It's a long, especially setting up a membership site, you want to do it this week, this month. You don't want to wait a few months to start your business or your membership site. You're going to have to buy it when you want to buy it. So that's a similar line of thinking for other membership sites. So that's what the big thing. It's only happening a couple times a year. That's not that often. The other thing is that everyone else on the earth is running a Black Friday sale next weekend, and so you're not standing out. Like people are very forgiving. They expect you to run a Black Friday sale, and I think that connection of like, oh, they're selling it for $150, 50% off. That's the true value of the product. That connection's not being made as strongly. I think people are like, oh, they're just taking advantage of the marketing season and running a promotion, and this is my one chance to get a sale. So I think Black Friday in particular is kind of, if you're going to do one per year, you should do it next weekend, and you should probably limit it to about 2 per year. So the downsides are lower. The other important piece to running a Black Friday sale is to have a really big, so Black Friday is an exception. The other thing you want to do is make a big offer. So sometimes I'm talking with businesses and membership sites and convincing them to run a Black Friday sale, and they're like, yeah, we'll give them 10% off or 20% off. And in general, what we've seen is that if you're giving a discount that's less than 50%, it's not going to feel as urgent. It's not going to compete for attention with the other Black Friday sales that are going on. It's not going to drive sales like you might want over the weekend. You should probably do it anyway. Like if that's all you can discount your product is 20%, you don't want to lose money, right? So if you discount your product so low that the cost of delivering your product and your membership are going to outweigh the gain, you probably don't want to run the promotion. Although sometimes, maybe you're just doing a membership drive and you want members, and you're willing to pay for it. But in general, you want to make sure you're still making money on these sales. So shoot for 50% if you can. And then if you can't discount your product 50%, there's a really good chance that your membership is priced too low. And what you could do, and pricing is very specific, obviously, to the membership and the offering that you have, and there's a lot that goes into it. But if you don't have room for like a 50% margin to run a sale like this, you're probably priced too low, and there's room for you to increase. You should plan to increase your membership by 100% or enough to be able to do the discount by next year's Black Friday holiday. And you could even take advantage of that this year. You could run this sale and announce the new price if you're comfortable with it. And so if you sold the product for $100 and you feel like there's no margin in your product to run a sale, announce that you're increasing your price to $200 after this month, and this is your last chance to get in at 50% off. And so now you still have a 50% sale. And we've had success doing that. We're not raising our prices just to run sales and make money, but we've been raising our prices to raise more money to support and maintain the plugin. And every time we've done that, we've run a promotion, and it works really well to take advantage of what's like a naturally occurring sale. So yeah, make sure it's at least 50% off. And if you don't have that margin, try to figure out how you can increase your prices so you have enough margin to be able to do that. And so again, I shared that link if you want to read this. It has a bunch of other good content that goes into the nitty gritty there. but I'm going to get into the demo section of things now. Let me see. Yeah, I wonder. Yep, that's HD. Yeah, I wish the text was showing up a little bit better. Try to, because we're live streaming, try to, change your video settings to HD. And if you're not able to do that on the internet that you're on, this video is going to get posted to the website later in high def. And if you view it at that time, when it's not streaming, you should be able to get the full quality. So if you're having kind of issues with things looking fuzzy, watching the recorded version might help you there. Cool. So these are the plugins again. I just installed and activated the Sitewide Sales add-on. Once you do that, it adds a Sitewide Sales item to the memberships menu. There's also a link here to view the settings. Because I don't have any sales yet, it gives me a giant button here to create my first sale. And this is the screen for setting up a sale. So I'm going to walk through this. The first step you'll do is set up a title for your sale, and this is used as a default in some places, but isn't shown anywhere. It's just for internal purposes for you to keep track of these. And then you can set the start and end dates for your sale. So yeah, we're gonna start next. I have to look at a calendar. I think the 27th is Black Friday. So we might start the 26th. And then, let me see, actually, what am I looking at? I'm thinking of the wrong dates. Okay, so last year Black Friday was on the 27th, I think. This year it's on the 23rd. So that might be an important tip. Make sure you're looking at a current calendar. All right, so I'm looking at a calendar on my other screen here, and the 23rd is Black Friday. So I'm actually going to start my sale on Thanksgiving on the 22nd. And I'm going to run the sale through the 27th, which is Giving Tuesday. So this is another thing to consider is when you are running your sale. I like to run the sale like a day early and a day late. It's really good when you're promoting your Black Friday sale to send an email on Thanksgiving and say, tomorrow we start our sale. And the email says tomorrow, but if people happen to land onto your page on that landing page before, they can check out. It's fine. So you're not necessarily promoting this period, but I'm going to set the sale to start and end like a day extra on each side. This also helps if you have like an international market where, the folks in South Africa are about 7 hours ahead, and they're going to wake up on Friday and want to check out, but it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and they're really excited about the sale, but they can't start it because it's not 7 o'clock local time. And I guess that's not really stated here, but these times and times in almost anything you do in WordPress is going to be based on like the time zone that you set in your general settings of WordPress. So this is set up for East Coast time. So adding an extra day on the front and end, make sure that anyone who's kind of in a 12-hour adjusted time zone from you can, doesn't run into an issue where they're trying to buy and they can't. Yeah, so we got quite a few more viewers than we did at the start. So yeah, if you haven't introduced yourself, say hi. Thanks, Travis. Okay, cool. So I set up my sale to start on Thanksgiving and end on that Tuesday, the following Tuesday. Now we need to choose a discount code. This is a brand new website basically, and I don't have any discount codes. So I'll click this button and it created a discount code for me. Now I don't like the random gibberish there. And here's bug number 1. I'll take a note. This is supposed to give me a link to edit the discount code. Yeah. So just save the settings and you'll see a link to edit the code. This discount code also doesn't do anything yet. So I'm going to change this to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And then I'm going to set the start date and end date for the code. Now, we're talking about dates again. Another thing to note is that your sale and your discount code don't have to have the same dates. The sale date basically controls the landing page for your sale eventually and what days the sale is active on the landing page. The discount code dates control the days that the code can be used. And so what I actually like to do is, again, set at the start a day or so before. So that'll be the 22nd. And then set it to expire quite a while afterwards. What you're going to find when you run a Black Friday sale is like a week later, someone will email you and say, oh, I was on vacation and I didn't notice that you ran a sale last week. Can I get the sale price? And that's your decision to make. You can say no if you want to. In my experience, there's relatively few people who take advantage of that. And we just say yes to them. Like and either if they paid full price, give them a refund for 50%, or if they haven't, we share with them the Black Friday discount code and we say, hey, please keep this secret. It's just for you. It's going to work for another week or so. So again, like we're going to set up our don't tell anybody my secret, but our Black Friday discount code is going to run for like a week or two after the expiration date. And what this ensures is that, if people stumble upon the sale a week later, they get the discount. In our experience, this could be different for every different kind of business, but it's a relatively small number of people that you have to manually adjust. I think last year we did like 160 sales over the 4-day weekend, and there was less than 10 probably people. Travis might know, he handles the email if he can remember, but probably less than 10 people over the next month send us an email saying, can I get the discount code or can I get a refund because I paid full price? Okay, so so that's the date. So starting on Thanksgiving, I'm going to let the discount code go a little bit longer so that we can send a link to the normal checkout page to use the discount code for people who kind of straggle on the sale. I'll leave the usage blank so it's unlimited. But if your membership has a limited number of seats for what you're selling, you can put this here and it's going to shut the discount code off at a certain point. And then which levels can this apply to? I'm actually going to say the free level can apply and just keep it free. This will fix some like really odd edge cases where people are checking out for the free level but put in the discount code, and it would get mad at them and say, hey, this code doesn't apply for free levels. But just, hey, if they use the discount code but they somehow choose the free level, like let them get the free level for free. And then the paid level, I'm going to do a 50% discount. And so this is the way the discount codes work in Paid Memberships Pro. This is part of the core Paid Memberships Pro plugin to set a discount code. And you just set the level costs exactly how you want it. Cool. So we'll save the code. Now when I go back to the site-wide sale, if I refresh this, it'll show me the code I just selected. Awesome. Let me know if you have questions about that. I'm going to move on to, so far all we did was really set a sale to keep track of and create a discount code. You could create a discount code with just core Paid Memberships Pro. But the good part is coming up now. We're going to create a landing page. So for this, let me try this button, create a new landing page, and it'll create a page in draft. You might already have a page on your site. You could choose another page instead of creating a new one. But let me edit that page. And you'll see it set the title of the page to, something based on the title of your sale. So I think that's fine. Maybe I'll just make this Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It puts this short code into the page, and this controls putting some of the content that we're going to edit in a second, and also embedding the PM Pro checkout form. So if you want to get clever, you can replace this code and do some of this stuff manually, but you want to make sure in general that you have that code. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the template of the page over here in the right sidebar that you probably can't see actually because my head's in the way. Let me fade out my head. So over here in the right sidebar under page attributes, you can change the template of the page. I'm using MemberLite, which the latest version comes with a blank template. And what that means is that it hides the menu, it hides the footer, it hides any sidebar menu, and it just shows the page content, which is really good to do for landing pages of any kind, in particular sales, because people come into your landing page site and all they see, we'll see it in a second when I demo this, is your sale copy and form. And they're not going to click through on your menu to view other pages. They're kind of funneled into the sale. If your theme, if you're not using Memberlight or your theme doesn't have a blank template, this will work with other templates with the menu, and it's not a gigantic deal. Some people actually recommend that you don't do what I just said. It's kind of contested. But there's also a plugin, and I'll try to find it, or maybe someone on the team can. There's a plugin in the WordPress.org repository, which will add a blank template to your site. And it works pretty good. We tested it out. It works with a bunch of themes to kind of hide the menu and footer on your site. So if you activate that plugin, even if your theme doesn't have this template, it'll insert a new one in there. I forget it's called like WordPress blank template or something like that. Okay, so I'm actually gonna publish this page. So you could save this in draft if you're working on this landing page and you don't want people to stumble upon it. But I'm gonna publish it and then go back to these settings, and I'm going to fill out these other landing page settings, then I'll save it and we'll preview the page to see what it looks like. Yeah, and that's a for the discount code, match the setup of the levels they correspond to. Yeah, so the question is, should the discount code match the setup of the levels that can use the code? And for the pricing in general, so if you have a recurring membership level, your discount code probably should be recurring, but it doesn't have to be. Another trick that we've seen is sometimes people have one-time payment memberships normally, and the sale they set as recurring, so they're kind of locking people into the discount. Which is what Paid Memberships Pro is going to do by default if they set up a subscription when they check out. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the same, billing cycle, limit, and trial, but in general, you do want it to be the same as like how the level's programmed. But basically, the discount code overrides all that. And then it was another good point that we're going to get into this. There's like a landing page template, which is different from the page template. This is part of the site-wide sale. But I'll cycle through those in a second. Then you choose a default level. So when people come to your landing page, which is the level that you want to be selected for that page? One limitation of the plugin right now, at least without customization we'll get into, is that your landing page can only promote one level as the default. So if you have if you have 5 different levels and you're running a sale on all of them, you'll have to get a little clever, possibly dig into the code a little bit if you want to create like 5 different landing pages or allow people to choose the level that they're choosing at checkout. In general, like simpler is probably better. Stick to one level if you possibly can. This section of the landing page settings is to set pre-sale content, sale content, and post content. So we'll see on the landing page in a second. At the top, there's going to be a message. And so typically on the sale, like if people come to the landing page before the sale has started, you can say like, this sale will start on Black Friday, November 23rd, even though it'll start on the 22nd. We'll say it starts on the 23rd. I guess we're lying a little bit. You should worry about that. But yeah. I've come to terms with this white lie. You might have to in your own business. Black Friday, November 23rd, 2018. Okay, and then when the sale is running, we'll say like, our membership is 50% off. How awesome is that? Okay, so this is the content. And we're going to get like a little nicer with some of the stuff we do here in a moment too. And then after the sale has ended, we'll say, like, thank you, our sale has ended. Let me save those settings, and then we'll kind of cross our fingers and preview the landing page and see what it looks like. There's a button here to view the page. Cool. So this is my Black Friday landing page. I'm just using the default Memberlight. It's hiding the menu. It's hiding the footer. I think this content is a little ugly. It's pushed all the way to the side, so we could do something with that. And it's not showing the form yet because the sale hasn't started. So I might tweak the sale date to get the form to show up. So maybe we'll do that. Like in reality, I'm gonna launch the sale November 22nd, but I want to see what the form looks like. So let me, go ahead and change the sale date. So this is what it would look like when the sale has started. We're getting this notice about the discount. It knows, hey, your discount code hasn't started yet. So if you wanted to test even further, you could tweak the discount code as well. So maybe we'll do that, and we'll just remember to set these back when we actually go live. And then what I want to do probably is choose a theme. So this is a little ugly how it bumps up against the page. We could probably work on that default. And the whole point of the blank template is to do that, is to push the content all the way up to the size of the page so that you can tweak it. But I'm going to choose a landing page template. So let me cycle through these and save them and try to pause a bit to show you. Boom. Okay, so here my is the sale with the gradient theme. And actually, I think this title here, I might be able to get rid of. This might be bug number 2. I think our blank theme should be hiding this. And I'll reach out to Kim. Let's see how it works with someone. There might be a discrepancy with like the version of Memberlight I have. I'll show you some of the other themes here. So Neon was like the original Black Friday template that we ran last week or last year. And what's cool about Neon, let me get into it, is if we make this a little different. So if we use headings in here, for sure H1 headings and H2 headings. They should show up as Neon. Oh, maybe it's H2 and H3. Let's try that. We're doing it live. Yeah, H1 should be the title of your page. It adds this CSS kind of flashy effect. And actually, probably most of the templates have some kind of effect on the H2 and H3. Ocean, save settings. Yeah, someone should take a note about that class on the checkout page. I feel like we do something like that, and maybe it's a known issue that that it doesn't happen on this site-wide sales page. But bring that one up. I'll run that by Kim, the designer. Oh, she's in there. She'll probably talk about that. This is the ocean theme. Kim's in the chat. Kim, you gotta tell me why this this banner's showing up. Maybe it's because I'm using the Memberlight elements. Nope. I think we might have issues with this. Oh, you know what? This is probably like a decent. Let's demo the custom CSS feature. All right. So your theme, I think before next week we should update Memberlight to hide this when you choose blank theme. Right? Something's going wrong. But say you have a theme that's not Memberlight and it's not smart, and we want to tweak the checkout page. Let me find. This is called masthead, right? So I'm looking at, this is probably really hard to see. I'll try to zoom in a little bit, but I inspected, this is front-end designer stuff. I inspected this area on my webpage. I looked at the HTML code, and I see that there's a header called masthead that I don't like and I want to get rid of. On my sale, I can go to this custom CSS. Where's my custom CSS, dude? Oh, that's for the banners. Let's add some CSS in here and see what happens. This is a heading. Let me look again. Header dot masthead. Display none. All right, let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to get savvy here. No. Okay. I think if you have an issue like this, Kim should give me some CSS I can put on my site to hide this and how to launch it on my landing page. Oh, you know what? I should put it, yeah, okay, we strip it out here, but if I edit the page, we're doing it live, Kim. Tell me if I'm doing crazy stuff. Is this gonna get stripped? Yo, I'm a genius. Okay. I added some custom style into my landing page to get rid of the stuff that I didn't like. Oh, look, it's showing my style here. I'm going to get rid of that too. Cool. So I had to do a little bit of design work to tweak that. If you run into stuff like this while you're setting up site-wide sales, you know, set your sale up sooner than later and open a ticket in our thread and say urgent for Black Friday. I need some design help, and we'll try to help you out next week or end of this week. Okay, so let me just cycle through the last theme that we have. Oh, we got a couple more. Photo. Which I think there's probably some documentation around setting the photo for the background here on our website that I'm unfamiliar with, to be honest. Same with scroll. I think it's expecting like a banner image. So if you have member-lite elements installed, you can upload a featured image, and I may or may not. Maybe I have a good wallpaper probably. Set as featured image. Update. And I think it's gonna embed the featured image into your theme. So some of these themes rely, and you'll have to do some styling, but depending on the color of your photo and the text that goes over top of it. But some of these templates rely on the featured image to look better. Oops. Yeah, so like the photo one, I'm curious what that looks like. So yeah, the photo one is smart enough to put this kind of gradient over top of it. So no matter what color your background photo is, the text shows up pretty decently. Again, I'm a fan of the neon one. We used the gradient earlier. So let me go back to neon, see what that looks like. Oh, disable top banner. Oh, okay. So I put some custom style in there. That was, I guess, a decent exercise in case there are other things in your theme that you want to hide. But if you are using MemberLite and the MemberLite Elements plugin, there's a setting to hide the banner. And they're telling me that this is also going to hide the banner. Okay, cool. We hid the banner. I'll try to really quickly go back over the landing page settings. I created a new page. When I edited the page, I set the template to blank. That's a MemberLite feature, or you have a plugin for that. Later on, I realized I could hide the banner that I didn't like by setting this setting here. I make sure I have the PM Pro SWS shortcode, and that's what figures out to put the pre-sale content, the sale content, and the post-sale content, as well as the checkout form. And I made sure to publish this. So if you're working on a live site, you don't have a staging site, you might want to keep this in draft longer to make sure, or publish it and just don't advertise it or link to it. People are going to see that pre-sale content. Cool. I chose the neon theme. I set the default checkout to paid level to paid. I set some pre-sale content. Many of these themes, and there's documentation on the add-on page about the different themes. Take advantage of the headings H2, H3, and things like that. And save this. And now I have a landing page. When people come to the page, it has my words here. It tells me about the membership I'm showing. This is the description and the pricing generated by Paid Memberships Pro. And then this payment form is, my demo site is set up to use Stripe for checkout payment. So this is, I could actually check out 1, 2. I think. So now you all know my fake credit card code. That's like a fake testing code. And then when you submit here, it actually submits to your default Paid Memberships Pro form. So if there was an error at checkout, it would have taken me back to the Paid Memberships Pro checkout, like not the landing form. But my checkout worked, so I'm taken to the confirmation page. And I was billed $50. And now I have access to the system, this video that I was keeping private for members only. All right, let's go back. So let me know if you have questions about landing pages. We're going to get back to do some customizations on there in a little bit. But let me show you step 4, the banners. And this is a lot of the power of the plugin as well. So when we did this previously by hand, manually, like with a bundle of plugins, we use plugins like Hollerbox or Foobox or Opt-in Monster. We use Hollerbox on our site, but those plugins can add like popovers and other effects to your website. But we have it built into the Sitewide Sales site. So there's 3 different templates built in. I'm quite fond of the bottom right version. And again, there's templates that are related to the landing page templates. They have the same names. But in case you like a different template for your banner versus the landing page, you can switch that. And then I'm going to leave the default text. There's a title and text for the banner, and there's a button in the banner you can change the text. So yeah, maybe I'll say something. Maybe I'll say like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But and we might have put H2s in here. Let's just see what it looks like now. But you can put some HTML in here. We don't have a full editor in here. We didn't want to, if you need a lot of features and drag and drop flexibility for your banner, you can use something like Hollerbox or Opt-in Monster to generate your banner. And for banners, you can put custom CSS in here. And so if you work with us in the support forums and we give you a tip for how to show something differently, you can put that in there. Another feature of the banner is that you want to hide it from existing members. So if they bought membership last month, you don't want them to get jealous that it's 50% off now. So we're not going to show the banner to existing members. By default, it does that, but you can change that if you want. And then it's redundant in most cases to show the banner on checkout pages. So let me save those settings. And then I'm going to open an incognito window and go to my webinar page. Oops. Huh. Or I'm going to search Google for webinar local. Hold on, let me. That's odd. Okay. Maybe I spelled something wrong. Cool. Okay, so this is my demo site again. And this is the banner that we put in the bottom right. So the title is that neat flashing color. And it's got a giant buy now button. It uses the action. If you're using MemberLite, it uses the same action color as your default. And when I click on this, it takes me to the landing page to check out. So by default, this banner is going to show on every page on your site except the login pages and the checkout pages, and it won't show to logged in members who have those membership levels. If you have other kind of if you have other landing pages for like ad like Google ads that you're running or things like that, you'll want to exclude this from those pages. Right now that can be done through code. So ask us and we can highlight the filter. Oh yeah, the banner is behind me. let me fade myself out. Bottom right is where my head is, or the banner. So you can see the banner there, it's flashing. And as I was saying, yeah, if you need to hide this on certain pages, you can do that through custom code. And there should be documentation on that on our site, or ask us in the forums and we'll help you out to find the right filter. Just got a quick check in with my team. They're probably telling me everything. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to the settings here and show some of the other banner placements. So that's the bottom right. There's also like a top right, and it shows up here. So even though I'm logged in and I'm a member, I click that preview button, and so it overrides that and previews for me. Or you can, on the bottom of the site is down here. There's quite a delay now. It's a little, and the bottom banner stays in place as you scroll. It's always on the bottom. Yeah, so maybe we should do like the top of the site or the bottom one. Because if I put my head in the bottom right again. Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorites is the gradient. The gradient banner has this like cool animation effect that I'm really fond of. So that one's cool. So even if you're using like one of the other themes on your landing page, I feel like this banner is pretty sharp. Awesome. Let me know if you have questions on the banners. One note is this was a decision we made too. If people click this X and then they go to a different page, it comes back. It doesn't persist and remember that you hit it. I guess if that is really, really annoying to you, reach out in the forums and we can find a way to change that through code. But in our opinion, if you're running the sale, you kind of want to pester people as much as often as pester them a lot to get them to use your sale. I think some people will be annoyed by this, but just as many people will be like, what is that? I don't know. It looks like an ad. And then they'll close it out and then they'll browse your site and be like, wait, I don't know how to get that back. If it disappeared for good. So I think that's come up, but I think it's a good thing that this is always on the site. Cool. Let me know if you have questions on banners or landing pages. I'll really quick walk through the reporting that's done, and then yeah, talk a little bit about promotion and what you should do, and then go into the customization part of this. So here's a report that it shows, and this is just based on my testing as well. So note that we don't filter out admin tests, from this reporting data. But I'll click on the report so it gives you a little bit extra information. But for this sale, the banner was viewed by 2 people. So that's the banner reach. It was viewed by me as an admin, and then it was viewed by me in my incognito window. So as I browse around, this isn't, that's interesting. As I browse around, this isn't for, it just counts as 1 reach. So this is kind of the terminology that like Facebook might use for how many people view your Facebook page. If I close my incognito window and then, so let's see, 2 reach. If I open it again, and okay, and go here and view it again. This is bug number 3 or 4 now that we probably shouldn't show this content in there when we're on this page. I don't know. Team can figure out why that's happening. It's viewed by 3 people now. So every time if people use incognito mode, it's gonna count as a different person. So same thing for visits. So landing page visits is unique visits. So the admin and 2 of my incognito folks visited the landing page. And then my admin checked out once for $50. And this is how much money was made using that discount code during the site-wide sale period. So yeah, this reporting is meant to, you know, give you like a pretty good overview of how well your sale is doing. Like definitely at the end of the sale, you look at this number and that's about how much you made, you know, running the sale. If you do a really large email campaign or tweet campaign, a lot of people might come into your landing page without viewing your banner. And so don't be surprised if this number is much larger. And feel free to try to calculate percentages on this, but there's a lot of different factors into how people are using your site in reality, to figure out if, you know, did people really convert from the banner to the landing page? I think when we run a sale, like we had pretty like about 10% conversion from banners to landing page and from landing page to checkouts. And that's really good and like something to strive for. These metrics, that everyone's membership site is so different in how people use the site and how people are coming into the site that it's hard to, I wouldn't pay too much mind on those conversion rates. Like I would focus on how much money are you actually making. And then there'll be a revenue breakdown. And again, this site has no activity, so there's not good data here. But one thing that you're curious of when you run a sale like this is people who signed up last year, like renewal payments are going to come in. So we don't include those in the sale revenue. Renewals get excluded. And then other revenue, depending on your banner settings and stuff like that, like some people will come to your site, click to check out and pay full price and never notice or see that you're running a sale. And so those people will still, you know, pay full price. And based on the settings that we did, sometimes if you don't run a banner like that, obviously more people are going to, like check out for full price. So only the landing page traffic will convert. But like I think for the sale that we just did, about half of our normal daily revenue still came in through other revenue, and the other half were aware or smart enough to realize that there was a sale. So when you run a sale like this, it does like scalp your normal daily revenue. And I don't know if that's like kind of important to point out, like when you're doing the math, the blog post that I shared earlier goes into this. But if I scratch pad some math here, like if you're normally selling $1,000 per day, and maybe it's like 10 customers at $100, and then you run a sale where everything is $50, normally 10 people come to your site, so that 10 times 50 is going to equal $500. So just running the sale is going to cost you $500 a day. So you need to more than double. This is kind of obvious when you say it out, but if you're going to half how much you're charging, you need to more than double how many sales you get to just get back to even. What's good is if you run a really good promotion, you have a really good, and this is, we'll get into the next list of things you should do to promote your sale. If you do a good promotion job, you should do more than double your sales. I think we have about between 5 and 10 customers a day. And like I said, last Black Friday, we had 160 over 4 days. So like 40 per day. And that was kind of like a U. So it was really like, that 160 was like 60 people, then 30 people, 30 people, and 60 people again. So kind of like on Black Friday, there's a lot. Over the weekend, it slows down. On Cyber Monday, there was a lot. Or whenever the first day and last day of your sale are usually like people are excited, so they buy early, or people wait for like, this is the absolute last chance to buy, and they procrastinate. So yeah, you need to at least double your number of customers to get a sale. And that's why promotion is really important. So, promotion is important. And what can you do? Let me copy my list from my notes here, and I'll put it over here for us. here's what you can do. Hopefully this is showing up well on the video. You should have a mailing list, a free. I mean, like I said, different membership sites are set up differently, but a really good setup. And if you're not doing this, we have a blog post, and actually that's the the video that I embedded on this demo site is Kim talking about how to set up a free mailing list to convert a free membership level to convert people onto your mailing list so that you can promote to them. So we have about 3,000 to 5,000 paying members on PM Pro. We have like 60,000 people on our free mailing list. And that's who we're going to blast out over Black Friday weekend. So some of these people have been on the list forever. They saw the sale last year, and for some reason they're still on our mailing list. Or the people who've signed up in the meantime haven't seen a Black Friday sale, so they'll see that promotion when we mail it out to them. So you want to email you should have a mailing list. If you do, you want to email them. Make sure you can filter your mailing list between free and paid. So you don't want to email your sale to your free members. And if you use our MailChimp add-on or our add-ons for the other mailing list tools, most of them have a way to do this. So mail them every day. And so if I was doing a Black Friday sale from Thanksgiving to Giving Tuesday, I'm going to email on Thursday, Thanksgiving, and maybe I'll put my head back because I'm waving my hands. I'm going to email on Thanksgiving and say, hey, our sale starts tomorrow. And again, like I said, maybe the sale is actually live if they happen to click through to the landing page, but you say it officially starts on Friday. Then on Friday, I'm going to email them at least once and say the sale is on Saturday and Sunday. I'll try to email them, and definitely the day before the sale ends, you want to say tomorrow is the very last day. So that email will go out on Sunday. And Monday, you want to send another email saying today is the very last day. And it's often recommended that you send multiple emails on the last day. You send one in the morning and send one like in the middle of the day or the evening. The idea is you want people to see those emails. The more you email, the more likely you'll see them. And you're definitely going to get people who say, stop spamming me. I canceled your mailing list. Those people are going to happen. You're going to get a bunch of unsubscribes. I generally think it's okay if someone's on your mailing list and they're not a paying customer. You probably don't want them, and they get upset by getting too many emails. I mean, it is pretty intense. They should be getting a bunch of emails over that weekend, and you'll see it. Everyone yells about social media like, Black Friday, I can't wait till it's over because my email. But if it's so bad for them that they unsubscribe from your particular mailing list, they very likely weren't going to be a customer. But what you'll notice if you look at the stats in your mailing list tools in MailChimp, your open rate for email 1 will be like your standard, like 10 to 20%. And then email 2 will be 10 to 20%, email 3, 10 to 20%, email 4. Each email will have like a very similar open rate. There might be a little lag in the middle and a bump at the end. But definitely some people just weren't checking email on Friday, but they were on Monday, and you happened to catch their eye. So definitely send an email every single day, definitely the day before, and definitely the day before it ends. The sale ends. I don't have wrapping on here. Anyway, email every day. I said it 3 different ways. Okay. Tweet, same thing. Tweet every day, and tweet multiple times per day. Or Facebook, however you're doing social media already, if you're using Instagram or Pinterest and things like that, multiple times per day. It's the same story where I don't know how many times, like on Monday night, Cyber Monday, I'll see a tweet from someone I follow because I was kind of interested in their product maybe, and it'll be like, oh, there's a sale, like it's at 9 p.m. on Monday, and I was like, oh, they've been running the sale all weekend, but for whatever reason, when I scrolled through my Twitter, I didn't happen to see that until the last time. So, and definitely on Facebook, Facebook and Twitter, like the algorithm will hide your stuff. So they may never have even had a chance to see it. So I think like at least 3 times per day on each social media account, morning, middle of the day, and evening, that the sale is going. And again, like people are going to be like, really, Jason, I'm so tired. Like all you do is post about this sale. I'm going to stop following you on Twitter. Okay, I guess that's great. Maybe they'll follow me later, or I lost a follower. But for at least as many followers as you lose, there'll be sales that you make because people just weren't paying attention the whole time to your Twitter feed, and you happen to catch them on like the third email of day 3. And another big one is to submit to lists on other sites. I have to talk to Kim if we're going to run again our Black Friday list. If we are, you'll get an email about it very soon, and we'll publish that on our website. We ran a list of like people using Paid Memberships Pro running Black Friday sales. In your industry, there's definitely, in our industry of WordPress plugins, there's about a dozen roundups of Black Friday sales. So whatever your industry is or your membership site, try to find these lists. You probably know about them because you're subscribing to those blogs and things already. So maybe reach out to them and ask if they're running a list. So do a little bit of work and send them like a really good heading and 1 to 2 sentence sales pitch for your membership. And if it's a 50% sale, it's going to show up a lot more. Like definitely, I think when our plugin shows up on those lists and people are like, oh, 10% sale, 10% sale, it's like 50%, like, it gets people's eyes. Also, the people who make those lists, like those big sales, they'll push those towards the top of the list because they're trying to front load and encourage people, to feel the value of the list that they're selling. So definitely, yeah, try to get on other lists. And let me know if you have other ideas. But yeah, you definitely want to try to promote it as much as possible because you need to make up for the discount that you're doing. Cool. So I'm going to take a 2-minute break to refresh my water here. And when I come back, I'm going to dig into some coding. So if you're scared of code, if you have enough, you can drop off now. If you have questions, ask them now. I can answer some questions before we get into the coding too. But when I get back, I'm going to do, one's like not so scary coding. I'm going to update the HTML of the sales page using some recipes that Kim wrote up. And the second one I'll do is a code gist to add a radio box to the landing page. So I'm going to do those in a second, and I'll see y'all very soon. Hello? Okay, mic is working. I totally should have played some music for y'all while I stepped aside. How rude of me. I'm gonna dig into some coding. Couple quick notes. There's a few of you, I think, I'm not staying on top of the chat too well, but there's quite a few of you who are watching and haven't introduced yourself in chat. That's okay. I understand it. Feel free to continue to be a lurker. But if you want to introduce yourself, say hi. And if you have questions, say that. Let me know your questions. What else? Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to chime in and say hi. I also just wanted to say that everyone who is watching, like, I'm super excited to see your Black Friday sale. So I really hope everyone can set up a successful sale, and if you have it and you launch it, like email us, tweet me, reach out to us, and kind of share your sale with us, and I'll get super excited about it and share it with our followers as well. So I will dig into some landing page tweaks. Let me find so here's a link. I'll share it on YouTube and we'll include it in the notes. For MemberLite, if you're using MemberLite, and if you're not using MemberLite, maybe your theme, you can use some of the similar concepts with your own theme. But we go into detail on some of these templates that we bundle with the Sitewide Sales Add-on. So I'm gonna scroll through that here. So let me zoom in. So the gradient template. So I showed you earlier how to take a page and use the blank template, hide the banner. Took me a while to find that setting. But do that, and then it's going to hide the frame of your website, so your landing page is front and center. Like I said, a lot of these have H1, H2, and H3 styles, and this one's using a the Font Awesome icon shortcode that comes with MemberLite shortcodes. So I have MemberLite and MemberLite shortcodes installed. If I go to my sale and use the gradient one, edit my page, and oh, it says put this in the sale content. I should follow my own instructions here. In the sale content, we can put it in here. And let's see if this works. It should use the shortcode there. Awesome. So if you look, like in MemberLite has a lot of icons. Let me kind of browse through them. If you log in as a free member, remember MemberLite is a free theme also, and if you're a paying member of PM Pro, we give you paid access to MemberLite. You should just be able to sign up with the same email address on MemberLite, and it will upgrade your account. If not, just ping us in the support forums and we'll give you paid access to the MemberLite stuff. But if you look at Font Awesome icons, there is a list here of all the different icons. Also, like the Font Awesome site, I don't know if there's some exclusions. Kim would know. Actually, this site is a little scarier than it used to be. I was gonna say it's pretty easy to search the icons on this site, but if you look at the list here, you can find an icon that speaks to you, and use that instead. So we're editing the content in the sales section here. And you also, I mean, if your sale hasn't started yet, you can use similar content, coming soon. And remember, like, this content only shows before the sale starts, but I made the sale start earlier so that we could demo it, and that's the post-sale content. So I edited my icon, and now I get that one. Let's see. What else looks fun for Black Friday? I don't really know. To do money. This one's cute and popular. The paper airplane. Snow. It's snowing. I don't want to pull my webcam down because it'll. I probably won't be able to get it back up, but I can point it out the window. It's really snowing here. Oh, did I not say that? Oh, I put it in the wrong place. I put it in the pre-sale content. All right, refresh. Icon. Okay, so that's just one of the templates that is in this blog post. Let's see here, Black Friday one. Oh, so this one shows like a few different icons. So this is exactly how how we ran it last year as well. I'll try to break down this code, and then maybe I'll just hand wave over the rest of them. But if you notice in the thumbnail here, we have a big heading and then the flashy, neon lights that flicker. So that's an H2 and an H3. We'll do that. And then we also are using the row and column shortcodes that come with the MemberLight shortcodes to set up 4 columns of icons and descriptions. So this is good for like a list of features. And so you can copy this content into your sale. Let's choose the neon sale and copy this content in here. Fingers crossed. Oop, maybe I accidentally. Oh, the comment here doesn't get commented out, so we don't want to include that. Good to know. Our gist has, it probably even says that here, like don't include this. Yeah, this part of the code, this PHP comment. Oh, I guess if I copied the whole tag, it would have been stripped by WordPress. But yeah, you just want the HTML from that gist. But then, yeah, it'll look like this. And so you can go in and edit the text in that and edit the icons again using that Font Awesome icon list to, write the features that you want. Let's see if we did something similar for the Ocean template for our summer sale. One thing that is hard to do for the summer sale that I really wanted to do was play background music. I downloaded and uploaded to my website some really cool ocean sounds. It was awesome on my local machine. It played ocean waves when you visited my website. Everyone wants to play music and sounds and songs immediately when they visit a web page, but most modern browsers don't allow that. So yeah, so there's no bundled ocean sound in our theme, maybe in the future. If you do want to bundle autoplay background sounds, the trick, this is such an aside, the trick is to get people to click on links on your site that play audio multiple times. Like the Chrome has like an algorithm that is like, hey, if someone played music on your site like 4 or 5 times, they probably don't mind that music auto plays in the background. So if you can trick people to visiting your site and clicking to play audio, not trick them, but like if you're like a music blog, actually that's it. If you're sharing like MP3s on your blog, you can run the background ocean music. But anyway, yeah, so you can't do Jimmy Buffett music or ocean music on your sale, but you can make it look like that and have the icons. We could maybe show this one. So yeah, this is the photo one, like we showed earlier. And just the H1 and the H2 are styled in interesting ways there. I guess I'll show you this one. Scroll has a little bit of animation, so it's kind of fun. Oh, CSS to position clouds. And animate the clouds. Yeah, that was another thing I wanted to do that template, was animate the clouds. So people tell me these are like kind of bad ideas sometimes. They're distracting, but no, that's fun. Okay. Scroll. Okay, so scroll has, we'll try to show the animation. So I copied that recipe off the page. I switched to the scroll template and let me save. And yeah, okay, so this text faded in. What did I have to do to get the title to scroll? Oh, I was scrolled down. Never mind. Hold on. Fade in. So I refreshed. Hopefully I was ironically scrolled down the page so you didn't see the heading. But I'll refresh again. This title slides in from the right and this subtitle like fades in. So those are just CSS animation effects that are bundled into those themes, but some of those things could be interesting for y'all. Cool. So those are some of the templates. Now I'm going to show customization to, well, actually I should probably get this back to a same template. Hold on. I really like the, back here, the neon one. I'm going to use the. So bear with me here. So we go back to the neon template. But what you'll notice is this is the default membership level I chose. But say I had a second membership level. It was like the premium plus plan. Okay. And it's normally $200. So it's twice what my other plan is. I'm setting up this membership level pretty quickly. So now the plan we had before was $100 and this one is $200. If I edit my discount code to also apply to that level, so we'll give you 50% off this as well. Now, when you come back here, again, it's just for the paid level. There's no way, there's not an easy way to change your level. You can click here and it'll change. It'll take you to the levels page. You can select the Premium Plus plan. And actually, you should know this, a feature of the Sitewide Sales plugin is if you ever visit the landing page, it puts a cookie on your website so that when you go to the checkout page, the traditional checkout page for your site, it applies the discount code. So if people hit the landing page and then close their browser and come back the next day and go to your traditional checkout page, it's going to apply the discount code to the traditional checkout page too. But that experience isn't incredible if like both your plans are equally promoted. You know, people have to click that little change button, and then actually on this page we're not showing the discounted price, but on the checkout page we do. You know, it could be better. So what we want to do is when you go to the landing page, let me close tabs, all right. In this area, we want to show all the different levels that you can select. So how I'm going to do that, we have an article, I don't know if it's on the blog yet, Kim, is it? I'm going to use Kim's gist. We will publish this to the blog. This just also relied on that PM Pro 1.9.5.6 update that just went out today. So now that that update is out, we can do it. There's a couple versions of this. Let me find the one I want. Oh, Kim already created a gist to add PM Pro checkout body class to the site-wide sales landing pages. So I'm sure she shared that in the channel. Someone was asking about that. But here's one. We're going to add a radio box to the, I'll send the link. So this is just a gist on GitHub. That's how we share code gist. But we'll also publish this to the blog relatively soon and include that link. But this is PHP code. It's a little scary. Let's read the comment here. I think this will work pretty easily just by copying and pasting it. So I'm going to get into the technical details. You might be able to just copy and paste this and it'll kind of work without editing. But for the technical folks who are on the webinar and are interested, I'll walk through what the code is doing. So this is a request parameter to the URL. So actually, this should work. If you know your level, you can pass it as a parameter to your landing page. Fingers crossed. And it worked. Okay. It will update the level at checkout. So if you are promoting through Twitter or your email multiple links, you can pass the level that you want to apply to the URL. So that's kind of what this first set is doing. When this page is figuring out what level you're talking about, it needs to, like, early on in the page load know to set the level if that's not set. So that's all this code is doing, is kind of making the level, because you might, if you code to this page and you didn't set a level, it's kind of getting into the weeds technical why this is hard, but we basically need this request level to be set as if there was a parameter here, like really early in the page load, so that the site-wide sales landing page can use it later. So then this is kind of the magic that uses that new filter. This will override the pricing fields. So this whole box, there's a filter now to override this box. And that's basically what this does. So this code here says if you're not on, if this is basically checking if the site-wide sales plugin's not active, it'll just return the default and show the default pricing fields. So if you're on the checkout page, the normal checkout page, let's check out. This code is also running. So like, this is the pricing fields, and it says, hey, site-wide sales isn't even active, but you still have this customization in your customizations plugin. Let's just not do anything. Otherwise, let's do this. So if this check here is like, we're running that check in site-wide sales, we're saying, is this the active site-wide sales landing page? If not, it just returns the fields again. You'll see at the bottom here. So on the normal checkout page stays the same. We only want to edit the checkout page on your levels page. That may or may not be the case. If you really think this is awesome, you might want to change this condition and make this always happen, because you want to include it on your actual site too. I would advise against that though, because other add-ons and discount codes and things that people are doing to the normal checkout page are going to expect this information to be here. Okay, then it just gets the site-wide sale, gets your discount code, does a SQL query, and figures out which levels apply to that code, the free level, the paid level, and the premium level in this case. And then it has HTML to show like a radio box option for each of those levels. So I hand wave quite a bit. I'm going to copy the code and put it in a customizations plugin. So hold on. I'm in my editor here. I'm FTP'd. I'm using Atom Editor in this case. I already created a customizations plugin. There's instructions on how to do this, and we can link to that on our website. And again, you should be comfortable cutting and pasting PHP code at least, and maybe tweaking it if you need to. But I pasted that gist in here and saved it, and it pushed to the website. Now I'm gonna refresh this page and cross my fingers, see what happens. Whoop. Oh, you know what? The plugin's not active. Let me go back to plugins. And my customizations isn't active yet, so I'm gonna activate that. And now I'm gonna refresh. And now you'll see that the default level I chose is $50 per year, is set as the default selection. But there's a radio button here so people can choose their level. And I think we have another recipe that styles this a little bit, but depending on, this one's pretty flexible because it doesn't matter how many levels you have, and it just puts them one on top of another. So if you have a lot, it just stretches the page. It doesn't kind of get out of hand. But if you have two levels, you could do some cool styling with like left and right. One thing you might want to do, and we can tweak the gist now, is get rid of that free level. And maybe we can make that a feature of the gist or something. Oh, I keep clicking. These icons look so similar. Let me zoom in again on the code. I'm just going to really quick change this so like if a level doesn't have an initial price, it skips. So here we get the level. It gets filtered, I guess, by other stuff. We probably want to do that just in case other add-ons are filtering a certain level. And then we can say if level oh, you know, there's a function in PM Pro. If is free level. PM Pro is level free. Let me look up our documentation. I was going to check the price. Actually, we're not getting the price, so that's interesting. Let me see here. Oh, there's a dot star, CL dot star. So this is going to get the price also. So, and this is hard to, you have to understand the database structure of Pay Memberships Pro here for the SQL query, but it's grabbing the price out of the discount code table. And so we could check like if level dash billing, actually initial payment, is less than or equal to 0. And maybe we want to like cast that as an integer. Then continue. Let me see if this works. Cool, so that hides the free level. So it says, hey, the initial payment is less than, is zero, basically. So hide that, don't skip this, don't put it in my list. You could also use this function on PM Pro is level free level. So this gets a little more clever. It checks the recurring payment amount as well as the initial payment. So if you had a level it's $0 for the first month and then $10 after that, like that's not really free. You still want that to show up in the list. But this code works the same way. So this level's free, we don't want to show it here. And maybe I'll put this as an option somehow in the gist to make it easier to do. But that's the kind of thing you might want to do. You can kind of get fancy with how you show this stuff here. Let's check out. And it should check me out for the premium plan. So that's the one customization I wanted to do. Okay, yeah. So there's a note on that gist. We use a function that some people say could cause a performance hit when we're trying to figure out if you're on the Sitewide Sales checkout page or not. You could also just check the URL. So we use that function like isActivePage. You could just check the server variable. Oh, I keep doing that. That's my site. So up here, we're using this URL to post to figure out what post you're on. And so we could say like, we could kind of, I don't know. I'll go into it. Why not while we're talking about it? It might be interesting for the developers who are here. Yeah. On my Siteways, I'm trying to find the landing page. Sorry, here it is. View page. It's called BCFM. So in my code, and let's figure out what post URL is. 33. So I looked in the URL. There's a 33 there. Okay, so in my code, instead of using this URL to post ID, I could say something like if server.request URI equals post ID equals 33. Else, let's just get out of here. And so here, yeah, and maybe I can like just for now to like see what's happening here. Okay, so the request URL actually has like a slash and a slash. That's one thing I was worried about. I didn't know offhand. So when you're on this page, the request URL, it also is going to contain any, I mean, if you put the level, you don't need this code, but it contains all that stuff. So you could do this as like a substring check or something like that. But if you're like, hey, I'm on the BCFM landing page, I'm struggling with my editor. Then set the post ID to 33. Else, like, let's just get out of here and not. And so this is going to add the select the level page. And so this code here relies on you knowing exactly what the URL is, and you could do some kind of check. But this is a much faster check. Like, is this string that we already have BCFM versus URL to post ID, which I think, like they said, could have a performance hit. And especially because this runs on every page to figure out if you're to site-wide sale. If you have caching set up, it may not be an issue. It's also, this is late in the game, but it's also like a really good point. The cookie to set the discount code on the checkout page, like when I hit the landing page, so if I hit the checkout page directly now, yeah, this logic requires like a check on the PHP side. So there's a lot of reasons you might want to exclude your checkout page from caching. The site-wide sale page should be okay, but the checkout page you might want to exclude from caching. You might be doing that already, but this is another reason why you might want to do that, because it's going to confuse the cookie. So like whoever creates the cache, if they had the cookie, the discount code is going to be set. But if they didn't have the cookie, it's not. So that's like a caching issue. And there are some clever ways to get around that, and we'll try to improve the plugin to do that. But for now, that's something to take into consideration. You might want to exclude your checkout page from caching. But anyway, this is a more performant way to possibly check the post ID, but you have to know exactly the URL of the page you're on. Cool. There's a couple other questions. How would the sale work with the gift levels add-on? So in general, the checkout page that's generated is, yeah, let me think. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to tell how add-ons are going to interact with this, and I'm hoping we get some feedback, people who are using weird combinations of add-ons. I might just try the GIF level one to see how it works. I'm trying to think it through in my head. But a lot of add-ons like will work fine, and you won't even notice. Like it's going to filter the level just like you would. But a lot of add-ons are just going to be ignored, and you like. So I think like the discount or the like variable payment ones and the donation ones. That could be fun to do. We have some, I want to end the webinar soon, but it might be fun to just see which of our add-ons break with this. Like we just updated the donations. My guess on this is it's not, oh, you can set the donation on the discount code, the donation options, I think. No, it's on the level. This may just work. This is not the one you talked about, but it's like an example of one that would make me think. So enable donations, like $0 to $100. Save level. Let's go to the landing page. Oh, because we're overriding that whole checkout, it hides the donation link. I keep doing that. This one. I'm going to move this over here because I keep on there. If we get rid of this customization, let me see here. Yeah, I'm going to turn this off. So that this goes back to normal. So this is back to normal. It says make a gift. So like, you know that this plugin, you know, the custom code we just did like overrides this whole section. Like that also overrides the make a gift stuff. But otherwise the make a gift stuff does show up in that section if you want. So that's, you're going to have to kind of think things through. I'll double check the gift levels add-on as well. And I think that makes sense. Like people like, hey, it's Black Friday, purchase membership for a friend. Like you already have a membership, but now you can purchase it for a friend. So I can totally see the use case of wanting to do this. And now I have to remember how to set up the gift level. So you would create a new level called gift. And then, oh, I think you have to use code to set this up too, right? should read the documentation for my own plugin here. I'm trying to remember how this works. You can remind me, Eileen. Yeah, so this is one of our plugins that doesn't have settings yet. You have to define it. And so you say this level is a GIF for that one. Yeah, I mean, we could try to set it up pretty quickly. I can define my GIF level. Level 4 is a gift of level 2. Yep. When I gift it, it means the person can use it for free. Expires after 1 year. I'll just leave that, even though I think in the case for my demo site, we don't want to do that, but I just want to use the default code as much as possible. Okay, so now it's set up. So now if I check out for this level, it's trying to apply the discount code. It's gonna get mad. I think this is actually a bug. The bug number 4 or 5. That cookie's trying to apply this discount code, even though it's not. I think you can get around it in some cases, but sometimes it gets mad like this. Like it's trying to apply the discount code, even though it's not a level that has it. But actually, in our case, we want to test, hey, what happens if your Black Friday is a discount on your gift level? And now that I'm getting into this and reminded by how this works, I think this should just work. So if I go back to, let's re-enable my radio box. And then save settings, view my page, gift membership, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now remember I have the donation, so I'm gonna see if donation yells at me. It may or may not. Boom, and then it's like, hey, thanks for setting that up. Here's the link you want to send to your friend that you just purchased membership for. And it billed me $50. So I think it kind of works how you think it should. One thing to note, actually, how can I do this? So say you have a terms of service. Or other kind of required fields. This is pretty minimal and I'm already logged in. But stuff 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And say, I forgot to hit that, or I otherwise messed up my form in a way that PM Pro is going to get mad. Let me fix it so it redirects back here for me to check out. So I think in some cases, maybe if I don't know if I can't get it. In some cases, it's going to take you to the traditional checkout page. So I just wanted to point that out too. Like sometimes you might start here and then finish checkout on the traditional checkout page. And that should generally work. But depending on how clever you get with the customizations, it might not. You should be able to see the gift levels yourself. Cool. Oh yeah, so yep, the gift levels seem to work pretty well. All right, I'm going to close it up. Unless anyone has any more questions. Does anyone have questions about customizations or site-wide sales in general? Or you want me to look at your sale? Or you'd like me to give you feedback on pricing or anything? Let me know. Let me know. Just gonna wait. I think everyone either left or already asked their questions. There's some people watching. I know you people who are talking. It's okay. Yeah, so if there's no questions, I'm going to close the webinar. I really appreciate everyone who came and watched and shared and promoted. I'm super excited for the sales that everyone's going to run with this. I want them to do well. I want to hear when you're launching it so I can share a link. I want to hear about how much money you make after the sale. I want to hear if you struggled with it and something happened too. I want to hear if there's feedback on how we can make it better. I basically want to hear it all. So you didn't ask a question yet, feel free to ask us through our contact form, support form, stuff like that. before I sign off, Kim did bring up about Giving Tuesday. So I talked a lot about Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and that's like the pair of holidays that are more important towards like a consumer-based product. But Giving Tuesday is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and that's a gigantic giving holiday for nonprofits. Like my own high school alumni association, we're trying to kick off a sale for Giving Tuesday. And so obviously the technology of the sale works the same way, but you'll want to promote it that way. So definitely it's good that that donation link works on those sales, and you want, maybe if you're using variable payment as a nonprofit, make sure that works so that people can give more money when they're checking out on your site. And I think one thing that's kind of crucial to nonprofits is that Black Friday is a capitalist holiday meant to raise as much money as possible. Whereas Giving Tuesday, you also want to raise money for a good cause, but you also just maybe want to use the momentum from that sales holiday to gain members. So nonprofits more, perhaps more importantly than for like consumer products, it's not just the money you make, but how many members are like on your site. And so even if if you have like a nonprofit that charges $10 a year for some nominal membership, sign up for, promote a free or really cheap level on Giving Tuesday, and you could get a bunch more people to sign up for your nonprofit than you usually do. So cool. Thanks, Kim. Thanks for asking that question. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks again for watching. This video should be posted almost immediately to YouTube and on our website, so that you can watch it for members. So thanks everyone again. Now I'm going to figure out how to close my stream.